Chosen one, listen carefully. Right now in this moment, God is speaking directly to you. The atmosphere around you is charged, the air is thick with anticipation, and something long awaited is about to unfold. You have endured seasons where it felt like the enemy held sway over your life, where doors were closed and opportunities slipped through your fingers. But hear this now, the enemy's time is up. God himself is stepping in, moving with authority and divine power, and nothing can stand in his way. Do you feel it? That stirring in your spirit, that subtle tremor in your heart, it is not coincidence. Every struggle, every delay, every whisper of doubt has brought you here for this very hour. You are rare, set apart, marked for a destiny that the world cannot understand. Your calling is not ordinary. The path you walk has been carved by divine intention, and now the forces that sought to obstruct you will be forced to bow. The enemy has tried to cloud your mind with fear, to weigh you down with rejection, disappointment, and setbacks. Yet every attempt has only refined you, strengthened your faith, and prepared you for the victory that is now at your doorstep. Imagine a storm raging around you, threatening to destroy everything. And suddenly a hand reaches down from heaven, calming the winds, parting the clouds, and lighting the way forward. That hand, chosen one, is God's, and it is reaching for you today. There is a shift in the spiritual realm, one that the enemy cannot reverse. Chains that held you silently for years are breaking. Doors that seemed permanently closed are swinging wide. Angels are moving behind the scenes, arranging the impossible, and aligning circumstances that will leave you in awe. But this is not just about external change. It is about transformation in your soul, in your heart, in the deepest chambers of your faith. As we journey together in this message, know this: what you are about to hear is personal. It is tailored to your season, your calling, your breakthrough. You will discover signs that God has been speaking to you all along, instructions that will empower you, and assurances that nothing, no obstacle, no plan of the enemy can thwart what is divinely destined for your life. Stay with me, chosen one. The enemy's time is over, and your moment of divine intervention is now. Now feel the weight of what is being prepared on your behalf. This is not a message crafted by human hands, nor a promise whispered from fleeting hope. It comes from the throne of heaven itself. The one who set the stars in their courses, who paints the skies with fire at dawn, and whispers life into every breath, has seen your faithfulness. God is watching. God is moving, and God is about to intervene in ways that surpass every expectation, surpass every limitation, surpass every obstacle that once seemed insurmountable. Every step you have taken, every tear shed in secret, every prayer offered in the quiet of night has been recorded, cherished, and counted. God has not forgotten. Even when the enemy seemed victorious, even when it felt like your efforts were invisible, the divine has been orchestrating a plan far greater than you can imagine. The battles you faced were never random. They were training grounds, preparation for a destiny that demands both courage and endurance. This intervention is not delayed. It has been perfectly timed. Divine timing is precise, measured, and sovereign. Your breakthrough has not been postponed because of failure. It has been scheduled because of wisdom. God's hand moves in ways the human eye cannot always perceive. Angels are assigned, paths are aligned, and hearts are prepared, so that when heaven acts, no power of darkness can redirect the course. This is the assurance you need. What is of God cannot be hindered. You may have questioned, why now? Why after so long? The answer is simple yet profound. Everything that has occurred was necessary to bring you to readiness. Every lesson, every trial, every moment of waiting has been a sacred calibration, aligning your heart, mind, and spirit to receive the fullness of what is coming. The divine is not only giving you a breakthrough, he is perfecting you to walk in it with authority, with humility, and with unwavering faith. Look within your spirit and recognize the presence that has been guiding you, an unseen force that whispers truth. When the world shouts lies, that steadies you. when circumstances shake that lights the way, when paths are dark. This is God's voice calling you into alignment, inviting you to trust, to move boldly, and to stand unshakable. Everything you are about to hear, every revelation unfolding, comes with a guarantee. It originates from a source that cannot lie, cannot fail, and cannot abandon. Prepare to see patterns you never noticed, connections you never understood, and confirmations that prove, without a shadow of doubt, that the divine has been actively shaping this moment. Open your heart fully, for the message is meant to ignite courage, instill clarity, and anchor your faith in a truth that is eternal. The forces at work are not human. They are supernatural, orchestrated by one whose plans endure forever. And now the moment you have been waiting for begins to unfold. The enemy who has lingered in the shadows of your life, who whispered lies and planted doubt, is being confronted by a power far greater than anything he can muster. This is the divine shift, the unyielding hand of God moving decisively. What once seemed impossible is now inevitable. The scales of your life, long tipped by struggle and frustration, are being balanced. The enemy's influence is dissolving, scattering like smoke in the wind, unable to hold ground against what heaven has decreed. Picture it: doors that were locked, walls that seemed insurmountable, chains that weighed heavy on your spirit. Each one begins to fall away. A light pierces through, brilliant and unwavering, exposing every hidden obstacle. Where there was confusion, clarity now emerges. Where there was fear, courage rises. And in that moment, you will sense it, a palpable change, as though the very air around you carries the electricity of divine intervention. Angels, unseen but unmistakably present, move swiftly, positioning every element for the breakthrough that has been promised. The enemy's schemes, though subtle, are now revealed. What he tried to mask, what he hoped would remain hidden, is exposed in the radiance of God's authority. Those who conspired in secret, who plotted in darkness, are now confronted by the light of revelation. Every plan to stall your destiny is overturned. Every whisper meant to discourage you is silenced. And yet this is not merely an external battle. It is internal, spiritual, and deeply personal. The enemy will attempt one final surge, but it is no longer your fear that controls the outcome. It is your faith, your alignment with the divine, and the anointing that surrounds you. You may notice signs manifesting even now. Doors opening unexpectedly, messages arriving with uncanny timing, encounters that redirect your path toward purpose. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations of what heaven has set into motion. The enemy's hold is weakening, and the forces that once opposed you are being repositioned to serve your destiny. What you see with your eyes is only a fraction of the supernatural orchestration occurring beyond the veil. There is also a warning embedded within this prophecy: resist complacency. The enemy, though defeated, still prowls with subtle strategies to distract and delay. But fear not, for God has equipped you with discernment, fortified your spirit, and placed allies around you who reflect His guidance. What is coming is a convergence of divine timing, spiritual authority, and the awakening of your own power as a chosen one. Now envision the outcome: the oppression you endured, the setbacks that once seemed endless, the attacks meant to derail your progress, all transformed into testimony, strength, and authority. The enemy's defeat is not just your relief, it is the declaration that your destiny cannot be hindered. What heaven has planned for you will not only arrive, it will arrive with glory, precision, and overwhelming confirmation. Remember this: every step you have taken, every prayer, every act of faith has been building toward this culmination. The prophecy is clear, and it is personal. God is not merely offering victory, He is orchestrating your elevation, your release, and the fulfillment of promises long whispered to your spirit. The enemy's time is finished. The divine intervention is here. Open your heart and prepare to step into the reality that heaven has been waiting to unveil. This moment, the breakthrough you are witnessing, carries a meaning far greater than the circumstances around you. It is not simply about victory over obstacles or the defeat of the enemy. It is about the awakening of your spirit, the unveiling of your purpose, and the alignment of your life with divine timing. Every trial, every season of waiting, every moment of struggle has been a divine tutor, teaching you patience, refining your faith, and shaping your character. God has used the storms to reveal what is within you: resilience, courage, and unwavering trust in the unseen. Imagine your life as a vast landscape where seasons shift like the turning of pages in a sacred book. There were seasons of drought, where nothing seemed to grow. Seasons of darkness, where you could not see the hand of God. Seasons of battle where every step forward felt like a struggle. And yet, each season was necessary. Like a river carving a canyon over time, God has been shaping the depths of your heart, the contours of your faith, and the pathways of your destiny. What once seemed harsh or unfair was actually a divine sculpting, creating space for the fullness of what is coming. The enemy thrives in confusion, in fear, and in distraction. But your faith acts as a lantern, piercing the darkness and illuminating the path set before you. Every whispered doubt he planted is now exposed by the clarity of divine insight. Every attempt to derail you has strengthened your spiritual muscles, building endurance, discernment, and courage. Your journey has been a sacred preparation, not for mere survival, but for abundant flourishing in alignment with heaven's will. Understand, this transformation does not happen without conflict. The storms of life were never random. They were intentional calibrations of your soul. The enemy, though powerful in his realm, cannot thwart God's plan. Every attack has an expiration date, every delay has a purpose, and every hardship carries a seed of revelation. You are being called to perceive beyond the temporal, to trust in the invisible hand orchestrating every moment. This is spiritual vision, seeing with the eyes of faith what is not yet fully manifest, yet already promised. Metaphorically, your life can be likened to a door that remained shut for years. You knocked repeatedly, waited faithfully, and perhaps even doubted. And now divine timing has arrived. The hinges are being oiled, the lock undone, and the light beyond the doorway spills into your life. The enemy's opposition could never truly prevent the opening. It could only delay it, giving you time to grow, to learn to trust. What lies beyond is not just opportunity. It is transformation, restoration, and a revelation of identity that aligns with your highest purpose. Faith in this context is more than belief. It is active alignment with God's will, steady trust during uncertainty, and readiness to act when the moment of intervention arrives. Your spiritual growth has been both the journey and the preparation. Through trials, your faith became a shield. Through waiting, your hope became a torch. And through perseverance, your spirit became unshakable. This is the deeper meaning behind the prophecy. The enemy's defeat is intertwined with your personal transformation. Victory and growth walk together. They are inseparable in the divine economy. The storms were not punishments, they were refining fires. The enemy's attacks were not indicators of failure. They were signs that your potential was significant enough to warrant opposition. Every hardship was a lesson, every delay a calibration, every whispered doubt an opportunity to deepen your trust. And now, as the divine intervention begins to manifest, you are not the same person who first faced these battles. You are stronger, wiser, more perceptive, and more aligned with your destiny. Recognize the signs of spiritual alignment around you. A sense of clarity, replacing confusion, unexpected, doors opening encounters that affirm your path, and a deep inner peace that defies circumstances. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations that your faith, endurance, and alignment with divine timing have been honored. Your journey has meaning beyond what you can measure or see. Every step has contributed to a larger divine narrative that is now unfolding. As this divine intervention unfolds, subtle confirmations are already appearing around you. They are not random. They are carefully placed indicators that your breakthrough is real, ordained, and imminent. Heaven communicates in ways both gentle and unmistakable. Pay close attention, for these signs are meant to reassure your heart and awaken your awareness to the presence of God's hand at work. First, notice the timing of events. Opportunities and encounters will begin to appear with uncanny precision. Situations that once seemed delayed or blocked now align perfectly, often unexpectedly. These are divine signals that your path is being ordered, that unseen forces are arranging circumstances in your favor. Second, watch for repeated messages, words, symbols, or numbers that appear again and again. Whether in conversations, texts, dreams, or even simple coincidences, these repetitions are heaven's way of drawing your attention, confirming that you are on the correct path. Do not dismiss them. They carry spiritual weight. Third, observe a new clarity in your thoughts and decisions. Where there was once confusion or hesitation, you will now experience sudden insight and discernment. Choices that once felt daunting will become obvious. The voice of God, previously quiet and gentle, grows louder as you align with His timing, providing guidance and confirmation in ways that cannot be mistaken. Fourth, notice the subtle shifts in relationships. People who support your purpose will gravitate toward you, while those whose influence is not aligned with your destiny may step back. This is not a matter of human manipulation. It is the divine rearrangement of your environment to reflect your spiritual journey and prepare the way for your fulfillment. Fifth, pay attention to feelings and sensations in your spirit. Moments of peace, courage, and confidence, even in the midst of challenge, signal that God is actively present. These inner confirmations surpass logic. They are felt deeply, often as a quiet but undeniable assurance that the breakthrough is underway. Lastly, be aware of the small miracles, the doors that open just when you need them, resources that appear unexpectedly, guidance delivered through divine coincidence. Each occurrence is a testament that the enemy's hold is weakening, that heaven is moving, and that your faith is being honored. These signs taken together form a tapestry of confirmation. They speak a single profound message: the enemy's time is over and God is stepping in. Your journey is validated. Your patience is rewarded. Your faith is recognized. Open your eyes and your heart, for heaven is speaking, and every signal is a call to receive the fullness of what has been promised. Even as the signs of divine intervention appear, it is essential to recognize that challenges still linger. The enemy, though defeated, will attempt one final surge, not to win, but to test your resolve, your faith, and your readiness to receive what heaven has prepared. These trials are subtle, often hidden beneath ordinary circumstances, designed to reveal whether your spirit is anchored or swayed by fear. You may feel unexpected resistance in areas that once seemed smooth. Delays in communication, hesitation from allies, or sudden uncertainties in your path. These are not signs of failure. They are tests, like a final examination, before receiving a long-awaited inheritance. Heaven allows these moments not to punish, but to refine, to strengthen, and to deepen your trust. There may also be internal struggles, doubt creeping into your mind, fear pressing on your heart, or old wounds resurfacing. These moments are natural. They are remnants of past seasons the enemy hoped would define you. But now they are merely opportunities to exercise faith, to declare victory over the lies of the past, and to reinforce your identity as one chosen for divine purpose. You might notice relational friction. Those around you may misunderstand your journey, question your timing, or challenge your decisions. This is part of the hidden challenge, for the enemy often works through distraction, division, and discouragement. Stand firm, but walk in grace. Recognize that some battles are spiritual, not personal, and your response determines whether the challenge strengthens or hinders you. Financial or material obstacles may also emerge as final tests. Resources may seem limited or delayed just when you feel ready to step forward. These moments are not signs that God is withholding. They are opportunities to trust in His provision, to rely not on circumstances, but on His faithfulness. The divine often allows pressure to reveal the depth of dependence, humility, and preparedness that your breakthrough requires. Remember, these hidden challenges are temporary. They are the final refining fires that precede your transformation. The enemy cannot stop what has already been decreed. Each trial, each moment of testing is designed to equip you, sharpen your discernment, and affirm the depth of your faith. When you encounter them, do not shrink back. Step forward in courage, guided by divine wisdom and fortified by the knowledge that God's hand is upon you. Your faith is the key that unlocks this season. Endure with confidence. Pray with clarity. Walk with patience and determination. The hidden challenges are not barriers. They are signposts pointing toward victory markers that your breakthrough is near. The enemy's time is over, but your readiness must be proven. Rise to the test and watch the invisible become visible in your life. Now is the time to act with intention, for heaven is calling you into alignment with your destiny. The enemy may linger in shadows, but you are not powerless. You have been given authority, guidance, and spiritual tools to navigate the final stretch. God's instructions are precise yet simple. Walk in faith, embrace discernment, and prepare your heart to receive what is already yours. First, prioritize spiritual clarity. Begin each day with intentional prayer and reflection. Speak to God openly, confessing your doubts, fears, and frustrations, and invite His wisdom to guide every choice. This is not a routine, it is a sacred alignment. As you tune your spirit to His frequency, you will begin to recognize opportunities and warnings that the unprepared cannot perceive. Clarity precedes action, and divine direction will illuminate the next steps that are uniquely meant for you. Second, guard your heart and mind against distraction. The enemy still seeks to divert your attention through worry, gossip, or trivial conflicts. Every thought is a battleground. When fear or doubt rises, counter it with faith. Declare aloud the truth of God's promises. Remind yourself of past victories and the signs of confirmation already present in your life. Protect your spirit by choosing thoughts, conversations, and actions that honor your calling and reinforce your trust in divine timing. Third, cultivate readiness through obedience. Small acts of faithfulness, responding to opportunities, helping others, speaking encouragement, maintaining integrity, prepare the way for greater manifestation. The Lord often blesses consistent, humble obedience before large breakthroughs. Each step you take, no matter how small, positions you to receive the fullness of God's plan. Consider this a sacred training ground where your readiness is evaluated, strengthened, and rewarded. Fourth, embrace spiritual discipline and perseverance. Fast, meditate, journal, or engage in practices that deepen your connection to God. These acts are not merely rituals, they are conduits through which divine power flows. By dedicating focused time to cultivate spiritual strength, you fortify your heart against fear, sharpen your discernment, and invite revelation that ordinary observation cannot provide. Discipline is the key that transforms potential into reality. Fifth, act with courage and decisiveness when opportunities arise. Do not wait for every sign to be perfect. God's timing is already unfolding. When doors open, step through them boldly, trusting that angels are positioned to guide and protect you. Hesitation allows the enemy room to linger, but confident action demonstrates alignment with divine authority. Remember, preparation and readiness are matched by action. Faith without action is incomplete, while action rooted in faith moves mountains. Sixth, speak life over your circumstances. Declare your destiny, affirm your purpose, and proclaim victory over the enemy's plans. Words carry spiritual weight. Every declaration rooted in truth reinforces divine authority in your life. Speak boldly, for God has already secured the outcome. Your words are not empty, they are instruments of alignment with heaven's plan. Finally, remain humble and grateful. A heart filled with gratitude recognizes divine orchestration in all things. Humility allows God's wisdom to guide you and prevents pride from clouding discernment. Express thankfulness for each small victory, each sign, and even the challenges, for they have refined you. Gratitude amplifies spiritual authority, fortifies faith, and opens the door to further blessings. These instructions are not optional. They are sacred steps that prepare you for the full manifestation of your destiny. Follow them faithfully and watch as God's hand moves decisively, overturning obstacles, silencing opposition, and establishing you in the purpose you were created to fulfill. The enemy's time is over, and your obedience will accelerate the fulfillment that has long been promised. Even as you move forward, know this: you are never alone. Invisible forces surround you, angels assigned specifically to guard your path. And the hand of God hovers over every step you take. You are shielded from harm, guided through uncertainty, and strengthened to face whatever remains in the enemy's grasp. The protection you have is not conditional. It is eternal, steadfast, and unshakable. Imagine a radiant light enveloping you, a fortress of divine presence that no darkness can penetrate. Every attack, every scheme, every lingering threat is met with a heavenly barrier. You may feel challenges pressing near, but the hand of God acts as an unmovable shield, holding back the enemy, while you walk confidently into your destiny. This is the assurance promised to those who remain faithful and aligned with His will. The Lord's protection manifests in both seen and unseen ways. Sometimes it is obvious, a timely word, a delivered message, or a sudden change in circumstances. Other times it is subtle, the avoidance of danger. You did not even notice the unseen influence that turns a situation in your favor. The internal peace that calms your heart amid chaos. Both are equally powerful. Both are equally real. Trust that your spirit is fortified. The enemy cannot infiltrate the faith-filled heart. Every prayer, every act of obedience, every declaration of trust strengthens the walls of protection around you. Like a mighty fortress, your life becomes a place where the enemy cannot enter without being exposed and defeated. You are covered, safeguarded, and watched over, even in moments that seem uncertain or difficult. Moreover, God is not only protecting you, He is actively assuring you. You are being reminded of your worth, your calling, and your divine favor. Every encouragement, every confirmation, every sign of alignment is a whisper from heaven, assuring you you are not forgotten, you are not overlooked, and the plans prepared for you are unstoppable. The enemy may try to cast doubt, but your assurance rests in God's unwavering promise. Step forward with confidence. Feel the safety that surrounds you, the peace that steadies your spirit, and the knowledge that nothing can thwart what heaven has ordained. Your path is secure, your journey guided, and your destiny protected. The enemy's time is finished, and God's hand ensures that you walk forward with authority, courage, and unwavering confidence. Now envision the transformation that is coming. The season of struggle waiting and hidden opposition is giving way to a new reality, a reality filled with divine alignment, clarity, and purpose. You are stepping into a version of yourself that has been refined, strengthened, and prepared for this very moment. Every trial, every delay, every shadow that once sought to hinder you now becomes the foundation upon which your victory stands. Feel the weight lift from your shoulders. The burdens that once pressed heavily upon your spirit are replaced by a sense of freedom, peace, and empowerment. Where fear once whispered, courage now speaks. Where doubt lingered, faith blooms abundantly. This transformation is not merely external, it touches the very core of who you are. Your identity, long shaped by perseverance and divine favor, now radiates authority, confidence, and clarity. The enemy's defeat manifests not only in circumstances, but within you. Old patterns of fear, hesitation, and uncertainty dissolve. Your mind becomes a place of focused vision. Your heart, a wellspring of courage, and your spirit, a beacon of light to those around you. You will recognize that the battles you endured were never against you, they were for you. They prepared you to receive what could only be given to a heart fully aligned with heaven's purpose. Picture the doors opening before you, opportunities, divine connections, and assignments perfectly aligned with your calling. Each step forward carries affirmation, each decision guided by insight, each encounter orchestrated by heaven. Your journey, once turbulent and uncertain, now flows with a rhythm of divine order. The people, places, and circumstances that once seemed elusive now converge in harmony with your destiny. Emotionally, you will feel a profound sense of gratitude and awe. The realization of God's faithfulness will flood your spirit. Tears may come not from sorrow, but from the recognition of how far you have traveled, how much you have endured, and how wonderfully God has orchestrated every moment. Joy, once delayed, now becomes your constant companion. Peace, long sought, settles deeply within your soul. Spiritually, this is more than a personal victory. It is a confirmation of your alignment with God's purpose. Your transformation becomes a testimony, a living example of divine intervention and fulfillment. Those who witness your journey will see the glory of God reflected in your life. Your story, once marked by struggle, becomes a beacon of hope, illustrating that faith, perseverance, and trust in divine timing yield extraordinary outcomes. You are no longer the same person who faced the enemy months or years ago. You have been refined by fire, strengthened through trials, and now empowered to walk boldly in purpose. This transformation is holistic, heart, mind, spirit, and circumstances all harmonize under the guidance of God's hand. Take a moment to embrace this reality. Feel the weight of victory, the assurance of protection, the clarity of purpose, and the joy of divine fulfillment. You are stepping into a life where what was promised is now tangible, where hope is realized, and where God's favor is unmistakable. The enemy's time is gone. Your season of transformation, empowerment, and divine fulfillment has arrived. As you stand on the threshold of this new season, take these words deep into your heart. Speak them aloud. Let them resonate in your spirit. They are not just phrases, they are declarations of truth, anchors for your faith, and reminders of God's unwavering presence in your life. Repeat after me. I am chosen. I am empowered, and I walk in divine purpose. Feel the authority and confidence that flows through you as you claim this truth. I am protected, guided, and aligned with God's perfect timing. Let these words reinforce the spiritual armor surrounding you, reminding you that nothing can thwart your path. The enemy's power over my life is broken, and I step boldly into victory. Say this with conviction, knowing that every opposition, every scheme, and every delay has been nullified by heaven. I am transformed, restored, and ready to fulfill my destiny. Embrace the fullness of this declaration, allowing it to fill your soul with gratitude, joy, and anticipation. Now receive this blessing. May the light of God's presence illuminate your path. May every obstacle crumble before you. May divine favor flow into every area of your life, relationships, opportunities, and purpose. May angels guide your steps, wisdom, direct your decisions, and peace guard your heart. Let your spirit rise in courage, your mind sharpen in clarity, and your soul flourish in alignment with heaven's perfect plan. The enemy's time is over. The chains that once bound you are broken. The doors that remained closed are now open. Step forward with confidence, knowing that God Himself walks beside you, ahead of you, and within you. You are protected, you are empowered, and you are divinely called for this very hour. Carry these affirmations daily. Speak them into your life. Meditate on them as you navigate challenges. Let them remind you that your breakthrough is not just possible, it is inevitable. The transformation you have long awaited is here. The fulfillment of promises is tangible, and the glory of God shines upon your path. Walk boldly. Step into your destiny. The enemy has no authority here. God has already declared your victory, and nothing can reverse what heaven has ordained.